Alrighty guys, we're back for Grixis Fleem, and this is a Through the Omenpaths standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, we built this together over on the Twitch channel. Nice. So we have 3 Goben, Gene-Splice, Savant, and Fleem, Goben's creation. You can cast this as either side, which is pretty cool. So the Gene-Splice side is a 2-mana 1/1, can't be blocked. When Goben deals combat damage to a player, he connives. And then for 1, a blue, a black, and a red, transform Goben, activate only as a sorcery. So the backside here, Fleem, Goben's creation, is a 4-mana 3/3 legendary creature. Flying, menace, nice. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. And then also, each non-land card in your graveyard has Mayhem. The Mayhem cost is equal to its mana cost. Oh my goodness. So even if you're not pulling off the Mayhem, we do have other cards in here that you can cast back from the grave, like Harmonize on the Glacial Dragonhunt, of course. Now this is our main piece of spot removal, that paired with Knife Trick make the cut as a 1/of, and then we do have other ways to deal with the opponent's things, or at least tempo them out for a couple turns, like Stall Out here making the cut. We don't see this very often. It's a 2-mana sorcery. It has cycling for 2. You can tap target creature or vehicle, then put 3 stun counters on it. 3 stun counters is a chunk of stun counters, dude. Now that does mean a lot of our main pieces to take the opponent's creatures out of the equation are sorcery speed, so that's a little bit sketchy, right? But we do have 3 steps ahead in here for even more interaction with the opponents, as well as that bottom ability fitting the discard theme really nicely. Speaking of the discard theme, a whole bunch of ways to discard cards. Look at a couple Kitsa, a couple Intis, we have a couple Kioras as well. Look at those legendaries, huh? We have a Brass's Tunnel Grinder in here. We have 3 Ruzic, booed but victorious. 3-mana 5/4 has Mayhem for 2 and a hybrid Rakdos color. Or mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Then create a treasure token. So something to note there is it's not you may discard a card, you will discard a card and get a treasure token. So keep your eye on that for sure, because that could be pretty bad if you're trying to save something in your hand, right? Then we have 3 Monument of Endurance. If you actually get a turn of setup for a Monument of Endurance, this is a serious value-packed card. Also fitting the discard theme, we have 4 Marauding Makos. Should be an excellent 1-drop in here. On the top end, we have a 1-of Desecrex, and we have a couple Kefkas as well, which will be a really good top end. Over in the mana base, guys, we've got a whole bunch of dual land packed in, all for Gloomlake Verge, all for Riverpyre Verge. Now, realistically, we are just splashing black in this deck list, so Watery Grave is a way to do that. And we have Exclusive Nightclub in here. This is actually a land with Mayhem. We'll see how often that comes into play versus how often we just get annoyed that this is a tapped land, right? And then we have all 4 Multiversal Passage in here as well. So you can kind of think of the split as we built an Izzet mana base, and then we got the splash of black in there as well. No honorable mentions this time around. There's definitely a whole bunch of ways we could have put this Grixis list together, so yeah. Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. Look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, 1 second, guys. I accidentally clicked on normal play mode for some reason, even though I never play normal play mode. Maybe I should sometimes, right? Maybe I should take some jank over into normal play instead of ranked, but there we go, guys, right into the first game. What am I expecting from the build? Well, based on my test games and based on the games we played on stream, I think this is an incredibly difficult deck list to play, so I'm a little worried about that. What I'm not worried about is once we actually get the engine rolling, there is some serious value packed in, so can we get the engine rolling is another question. We got red, we got blue. We're not worried about the Desecrex right now. We'll go ahead and give this a shot, man. We got great mana fixing in here. And we'll start with red on the passage. Enters tapped. Get ready for the Inti. Yeah, I'm not too worried here about the mana. I think we'll be fine. Even so, oh, well, there you go. I was going to say any mana off the top would lead us into Monument eventually, which treasures mana fix us, and Ruzic gives treasures too. Nightclub is tapped, unfortunately, but I'm still going to stick to it and get the Inti down over the turn 3, because there's still a really good chance that we top deck an untapped mana as well. Alright, scary Orzhov over there. This is going to be a tough uphill battle for sure. We got the swing with the Menace right by the Inti. Inti number 2, not the greatest, I would say. We could start with the swing with the Inti. I don't necessarily want to take the 2 from the Nightclub, but if we see untapped mana, we'll just play that instead. But if we don't see untapped mana, we want the value from the Mayhem on the Nightclub, right? I think so. We see a Monument of Endurance from the Inti. Unfortunately, can't play it since Nightclub comes out tapped. But man, that would have been crazy, huh? If we drew into the untapped land and got a free monument for the turn. Oh yeah, Servandum on the board, Surveil to the grave. Now, second Servandum doesn't tell us that it's a Raise the Past deck list, right? They could just say, well, it's a legendary creature, we already have one, send it. But... oh, Umbral, yep. So most likely Raise the Past, right? As they send a lot of their other value creatures to the grave here as well. Gestation Sage, they even send a Nesting Bot, which we have to be very scared of a turn 4 Raise the Past. So keeping 3 steps ahead open could be pretty good, but then what exactly are we going to do here versus all these menacing creatures slipping by as well? If we could have seen the untapped source, setting up with the monument could have actually done something. Maybe we could have drawn into one of our removal pieces, for example. Really, a Servandum at a 4/4, though, we'd have to rely on Stall Out. Take it out of the equation for a couple turns here. 1 second, opponent buddy, I'm thinking. 3 steps ahead makes the most sense, but we're still taking a huge chunk of damage. We could start with the swing. Maybe they trade with the Servandum. If we do that, we kind of want Monument on the board first then. But then we're really searching for removal. We're in danger either way, huh? Let's get that Monument down and go for the swing. Let's see what we find. And we could go Desecrex if we go Treasure on Endurance. That's kind of cool. Right? Treasure on Endurance instead of, okay, Glacial Dragonhunt is also okay here. They do go for the Servandum trade, which is kind of huge for us. Oh, but it's non-land permanent on the Vondum, so they do take care of the Monument. But all of that seemed pretty worthwhile here, right? As now we can pay the 2 on the grave. Desecrex comes back. Although Glacial Dragonhunt's pretty good. Pop the voice too. Nah, let's do the cool thing, huh? Desecrex, come on down, bring back the Inti. That's cool, man. Now, we lose out on the value from the Dragon Hunt, but we definitely gained value from using the Mayhem on the Desecrex. And I guess wouldn't have been possible to do all that without the Monument's treasure. But, well, maybe. Was there a different way we could have done that to where the Servandum wouldn't have hurt? Now they do find their 3rd Servandum, which is actually terrifying, guys. As they're going to get it right up to a 5/5 here at the end, because there's no way I'm not blocking that voice, you know? Take the 2. No, I don't got to take the 2. These are going to die anyways. Yeah, we can do that. Take the 1 down to 10. Servandum goes up to a 5/5. Now when Servandum dies, they're going to be able to pop another non-land permanent. A crazy good creature that honestly it feels like we don't see enough Servandum. But I have been running into this version of Orzhov a little bit more recently, so So 5th mana is pretty good. Got the discard on the Inti if we want to go for a ridiculous swing, I suppose. We don't really have the copy on the 3 steps ahead. We do have the card draw if that's the route we want to go. There's like almost nothing we can do. Another trade into the Servanda. Inti dies. Ruzic Mayhem. If they do find that Raise the Past, it'd be awesome to keep the 3 steps ahead open, but no matter what, the Inti has to swing too. Because of the ability. Attacks each turn if able. Alright, let's see what we can pull off here. I'm going to go Ruzic for the Mayhem. I think we're in danger either way, though. We're going to boost the Desecrex, so that way we offer the trade into the Servanda, and we see another Ruzic off the Inti. So the Inti extra cards not doing too much here, unfortunately. The Ruzic coming down. It could now be either Ruzic, but I guess the one with Mayhem? I guess? I do accept that. Either way, Inti was going to die, so... because it's forced into the swing. I guess we could have copied... That's a weird line of play, right? I guess we could have let the trade happen, copied the Inti after their target. But we have an Inti in hand anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So is it better to play the one in Exile, or is it better to play the one in Mayhem? The one in Mayhem's in the grave. Maybe we could have that matter later on. Whereas the one in Exile, we might as well play the one in Exile. Since that's the one we saw, right? Reestablish Inti number 2. Our Confidant. They find a Plains off the Confidant, which is pretty ideal for the opponent. There's the Raise the Past. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was only a matter of time, right? So I could have saved the 3 steps ahead to try to hit the counter. For sure. That was a line that I just did not do. Either way, we're pretty much out of this game, right? We're at 6. They got Blood Witch. Any swings, any death, we're going to be taking 2 damage from. So they definitely want to just full swing here. But I'll still take the blocks and take the damage that way rather than... well, especially the block into the Confidant. Maybe I will just take the 1s. Infestation. Even more Surveil. They are out of cards in hand, which is good news. Hey, ill-timed explosion is something to consider, huh? Oh, wait a minute, guys. Yeah, Umbral Collar is going to get them there anyways. Hey, good game, opponent. We'll go ahead and let them pop a couple more creatures and play it out that way. Yeah, that's totally fine. Since we're so close. If we were still at like 20, I would probably just concede because that would take forever, but... they get the Surveil as well. Guys, I like to let the opponents play it out, so always feel free to skip ahead in my videos to the next games or wherever you think is worthy of skipping ahead to, right? You could always skip ahead to the final thoughts too, which are usually pretty important, and sometimes we make changes to the deck list there too, so... yeah, I think with Raise the Past just looming on the horizon, I think we were going to be in serious danger either way, and a lot of things just didn't line up there either too, right? Like the extra cards off the Inti could have been significant. We could have actually seen some more ways to deal with their creatures too. We do have interaction outside of the 3 steps ahead. I guess the Glacial, yeah, missing the Servandum. Most of our removal misses the Servandum, so Stall Out could have taken it out of the equation for a couple turns, but even then. So missing a red source here is pretty bad. This is actually a mulligan. Usually I like to risk it, but we can't miss a red source, not with this hand. Monument on 3, opponent going first. Yep, got a mulligan. All right. Fleem. Let's do it. Awesome. Aw, I have to send a card. Aw, but game. Give me a free mulligan. What do we want to send here? I'm going to send the Exclusive Nightclub. That way we don't have a turn of tapped land, and that way we still turn 1 Mako, but we're going to take 3 damage. Turn 2 Mako is pretty good too. Okay. I'll send the Passage instead. And hopefully that's okay. With the opponent going first. Hello, opponent. Hi. Tiny Bones. No, my hand. I already had to mulligan. All right, let's send the Dragonhunt. And opponent, wait for the Mako to be on the board before you make me discard more, okay? It's gonna take an extra turn, so just hold your horses. Be a little patient. Golgari colors, nice. Yep, Tiny Bones joins up. It might not be a discard theme. It could be a legendary theme. Oh, man. What do we discard, man? What do we do? Oh, no. We don't know what's in their deck list. I'm going to keep all the creatures. We're going to send the stall out. We just don't know what's over there. Hey, we saw a stall out anyways. Nice. So, Mako, come on down, buddy. Survive the turn, too, okay? You got this, Mako. You got this. 3rd mana from the opponent. Gatekeeper for all 3, sacrificing the Mako here. It's been a good lineup for the opponent so far, to say the very least, right? Let's go ahead and get the Goben down. Come on down, buddy. So for conniving, it's been a second. So to have a creature connive, you draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, you put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Guys? My hand? Opponent? My feelings, opponent? Hey, Monument of Endurance. Now we're talking, now we're talking. Oh my goodness. Anyone's game now that we have Monument, dude. For real. Probably card draw, even though they're having us discard so much. Try to reestablish our hand here. Kiora! Holy cow, we're in this, dude. We're in this. No, Goben, no! No! Oh, man. Let's see what we draw here. Mako. Too bad I don't have extra mana to get the Mako down before the Kiora, huh? Alright, Kiora, come on down, buddy. What's this? What is it, opponent? What do you got for me? Why is it sticking? So Ruzic's okay. We're forced to discard in the upkeep. I think we need to save Ruzic for next turn, actually. Take 2 from the Nightclub, play this turn. Yep, that's pretty good. Pretty good, guys. And then instead of treasure, see, we could have kept Mako treasure, popped the treasure for the Mako, but go card draw and probably start hitting the opponent's face here over the treasure then, right? Alright, Multiversal Passage we can save for next turn. Get the Nightclub down. It's a little scary, I guess, going down to 14, but we don't really know what's in the rest of the opponent's deck list here either. Actually, with Golgari colors, Monument should be in trouble, right? Golgari knows how to clean up artifacts. And everything, for that matter. Down to 12, Kiora bites the dust from a house. Grows hungry. Inti's pretty good here. Ruzic, Inti. Are we going to get to keep a creature on this board, guys? Because maybe we're forced to pay the 2 on the passage, go down to 10. We can pay the 2, go Dragonhunt by tapping the Ruzic. Really just tough decisions. We can pretty much call anything we want here. I'll call blue. I hope this is okay, guys, because playing the Inti is also really good. Mako, whatever we keep in hand is going to be discarded to the Ruzic next turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and stick to the Inti. Actually, that's not true because we could draw on the Monument, which is actually what I'll do. So I'm going to keep the Inti around, get rid of the Mako. All right, draw a card on the Monument, pop the Gatekeeper. We find a Dragonhunt, which is pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Each player may discard a card. Each player who doesn't takes 3. Do we go down to 7? Then we will discard the Inti. Still worth it, I guess, right? Losing Inti's a little rough, I guess. But not taking the 3 here, and also... No, we can still go for the card draw for the turn, guys. Wow. Monument of Endurance is crazy. Yeah, it's the opponent's turn, so we didn't draw yet on their turn. So we still have the discard. We still get to keep Inti around. Oh, crap, guys. Oh, crap. Right, so... I guess that gets around that then, huh? We don't need the treasure. Definitely poke him for 3 here. We discard the Inti. And probably card draw, because we want to hit him for the 3. There's plenty of other ways, like Dragonhunt, for example. Hopefully we draw a non-land so we can get rid of the Warlock. We do, but wow. 3 steps ahead would be great to keep open, but not worth it because we pop the Thoughtstalker. Then we'll get the swing with the Ruzic, and we're just doing significant damage, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the passage. We discard it next turn unless they have us discard. They dropped the good game. I guess I'll keep the passage because we prefer to keep the discard no matter what, right? Because 3 damage on the Endurance. So they exile our grave. Oh, there goes the Dragonhunts. They were pretty expensive from the grave anyways, like having to tap the Ruzic, for example. Yeah, this was going to be a tough game for the opponent. It was a brutal start for us, but Monument of Endurance against a discard deck list is going to be a rough time. Actually, guys, they do get around the 3 from the Endurance if they have removal for the Ruzic. Okay, we get treasure. Stall out. That'll do it. Actually, we'll just go ahead and cycle the stall out and win that way. That's pretty cool. So stall out also could have tapped down the Preacher of the Schism. 3 stun counters is no joke. We could have swung for 5. But also just cycling out worked there too, thanks to the Monument being an absolute MVP. Wow. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, the YouTube side of things. If you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So, thank you, guys. All right, is it colors in hand? Don't worry about the black source, guys. It's a splash of black, and it's really easy to hit that splash. So, yeah, we keep this. Great hand. Best hand of the evening, actually. If we see our 3rd on time, really, really best hand of the evening. But we've only played a couple games so far, too, so it could be better. No, this is a fantastic hand. All right. Either one works, but we'll just hide what we're playing for a little bit longer. Honestly, Mako doesn't hide anything because they probably just think immediately VV. So they already know we have Izzet colors then, probably. Mana War Elves. Uh-oh. Hey, Gloomlake Verge. Good. Saw a 3rd on time, and it's a good one. That gives us double blue for 3 steps. All right. It does not give us the black source yet, though. So we'd have double red on the Ruzic then. This is probably a good trade for us, honestly. I should have swung first, guys. But now I'm just going to say no. I think we could have cheesed one through, and if we didn't, that's probably would have been a good trade. But now, Kitsa first. Keeping Mako on the board, there's really nothing wrong with that either. Holy cow, they pay the 2 lands, am I right? I guess. I don't know, looking pretty good over here for me, honestly, opponent. 3 steps ahead is open. Kitsa. Ability is open after the swing. Kiora could happen first too. This is probably something. 3 steps ahead over Kiora. Then maybe it's Desecrex for the turn instead. Swing. See what they do. Kitsa's ability. Desecrex. What a draw, huh? Oh. Nightclub too, but Desecrex. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Looks like we're just going to get the 3 through. They got 3 mana open, guys. Not terrible. Right? We don't have the black source. Yeah, lands, am I right, opponent? Dude, what have I done? Alright, Ruzic then. Ruzic's pretty good. Unless we run right into a counter spell. Oh, man. The Smuggler's Surprise. Nice. What are we up against here? Bahamut Coma in the grave? Oh, dude. It's Reanimator. They have the untapped source. If it's a Zombify, we're in serious danger. It's an Overlord. It's not a Zombify. Thank goodness, man. Because then keeping 3 steps ahead would have been incredibly important there. Losing the Desecrex definitely breaks my heart, but we're fine. That honestly probably would have been the discard anyways. Ooh. Monument of Endurance is crazy, dude. Still, Kiora is really good too here, though. I still got a good chump block. We still have a trade with Kitsa. Kitsa's prowess activates off the endurance as well. So before we play Nightclub, we want to get this swing. Because we're going to be trading out with the Kitsa, and we could find an untapped source. If we go treasure on Monument, we'd still have the 3 open for treasure if we find the untapped source. They do go for the chump here. We don't find the untapped source, unfortunately, but Nightclub is still going to be the discard here. And I don't know if we go treasure to set up for next turn. Probably not. I think them taking 3 is a little better. The card draw is really good too, don't get me wrong, but we got to kind of push the aggro through. Because at any point they could reanimate for the turn. Bring back the Nightclub. Look at all this value, dude. It's insane. But, like, somehow you actually have to establish the value. And, like, you have to survive long enough to get there. And Endurance is such a little MVP all the time. I'm very much considering the 4th one. Bahamut should hit the Monument. Yeah. Yeah, but then we have the swing. We still get 5 through off the swing. They dropped a nice deck. Thank you, opponent. I appreciate that. And they dropped a good game as well. Yep, I do appreciate that, opponent, for real. So thank you. We can discard you, and then we'll go ahead and stall out. Like, they're going to let us play it out, too. That's very nice. They got the block there. 3. Tap the Bahamut and get that swing. Yeah, we won't waste the opponent's time anymore. We could also have tapped the Kitsa, got rid of the passage, boosted the Mako even further. Did I drop the GG in return? I hope I did. Oh no, guys, I was so focused on actually playing it out. Usually the opponents concede. They don't let us have the fun swing. I didn't want to waste the opponent's time. Either way, good game, opponent. It was. One more, guys. One more. We're 30 minutes in. The games could take a long while in this one, but they really haven't so far. That's good. Let's get one more. Win or lose, I'm pretty satisfied. I think that as for being like a pretty hard deck list to think through too, I hope I've been playing it out well enough for you guys. Kind of feels like it. I think the practice that I had with it on stream and everything definitely helped a lot. All right. Mako over Inti, because Mako getting hit by spot removal is better for us than the Inti getting hit by spot removal, and then also we don't got to take the 2 from the Watery Grave. Demon Wall, nice. Right, so we're going to go... So Kiora is really good here, but Glacial Dragonhunt is probably a little bit better for the turn. I would say, right? We don't need the passage. We don't need the second red source is the big thing. Oh, guys. Glacial Dragonhunt. Non-land permanent. Well, at least we still buffed the Mako. Watch out for the Dragonhunt, guys. It's not just when you discard the card. It's when you discard a non-land card this way. Mistakes were made. Mako is down. Mako is down. No. And the Grave is down too, as it is a strategic betrayal, which is potentially a worst case scenario, as when you actually get to cast the Dragonhunt back from the grave, it is really good value. But number one, we're not completely out of this, as we still have a very good turn here of reestablishing creatures on the board, and if they do find another strategic betrayal, we actually get to choose one or the other. We probably keep Kitsa on the board over Inti, since Demon Wall blocks everything really well. It's kind of my fault that the Demon Wall blocks everything really well, as I could have easily discarded a non-land permanent and popped the Demon Wall with our one piece of removal. Outside of that, Stall Out still taps down the demon for a few turns, but we'd rather hit a big demon, so might just be Kiora for the turn, honestly. This one could easily come down to me and not the deck list, guys. We'll see. Verge. Can always cycle the Stall Out too. Always have Kitsa's ability as well. Alright, Kiora before we play the land. Yeah, losing the grave means we're pretty far away from getting an 8/8 on the Kiora swing. So Glacial Dragonhunt won't be able to hit here, because if we discard Stall Out and Monument, play the Verge, we'd have to draw a non-land card, and I'd say that's not a great chance. But I'd love to pop the Demon Wall. But if we get rid of Dragonhunt Monument, losing the Monument's a terrible idea. But then we'll have Verge Stall Out on the Demon Wall. Still get a Kitsa swing. We won't have a Monument of Endurance till next turn anyways. Okay, guys, this could be a terrible idea, but I think we might be in danger either way. Mono Black Demon still knows how to do the thing and do it very well. So let's tap down the Demon Wall for 3 turns and get a swing for 2. Right. Let's draw a card, discard a card. Nope. Yeah, other than that, if we were in a better scenario here, I think we'd keep the Monument of Endurance all day over just tapping the Demon Wall a little bit. Oh, Deadly Cover-Up, guys. Right, so we're super duper out of this. Actually, the opponent probably just has the demon setup in here for the Unholy Annex, and then the rest of their deck list kind of just looks like a way to banish our deck list to exile, right? Strategic Betrayal could be one of their main spot removals as like a 3 or 4 of. The End also exiling, but then also ripping cards out of the deck list. Deadly Cover-Up hits the board wipe, but also rips cards out of the deck list. Yeah, dude. Oh, and they hit our Monument of Endurance. Wow, good choice, opponent. Good choice, for sure. We do have Glacial Dragonhunt to draw. We might as well, huh? because I think we're super out of this one. So much, in fact, that I think we'll probably have to concede unless the opponent can prove that they know how to do damage here. Duress? Okay. Okay, yeah. Because I think usually at this point in the game, too, I think we'd be saying, like, oh, now we really need to establish Monument, right? To actually help us pull back. But they got rid of the Monument with the Deadly Cover-Up. So I don't know how we would pull back here. Kefka's still in the deck list. That could help us. Find a Virtue. Oh, mana. I'm actually going to save it just in case we have to discard it to something, right? Like 3 Steps Ahead is still in the deck list and everything too. Yeah, I could have played this one out much better, but thank goodness it got to the point in this one where it really didn't matter that I missed the Demon Wall, you know what I mean? If I would have hit the Demon Wall on time, we would have just poked a couple extra points of damage through. Maybe the opponent would be down to like 15 life at this point. But that Deadly Cover-Up was looming on the horizon, and so was the rest of the opponent's deck list here, too. Knife Trick. Right. I'm still not really convinced that the opponent can get this damage through in a reasonable amount of time. But I also want to see more off the top, so guys, always feel free to skip ahead. Wow, Fleem. Dude, let's do it. Come on down, Fleem. Can you survive the turn? The opponent has 3 cards in hand, 3 mana on the board. We can Knife Trick the Fleem. Options, guys. Options for days. So, at least we got to play Fleem here in this brutal game. Let's see if they end up dropping like the end on Fleem or something too. It is. It's gonna be the end. Yeah, that's what the opponent's doing, right? They probably have all 4 the end and all 4 Deadly Cover-Ups, I bet, right? As their goal is to pick apart the opponent's deck list completely. So they decide not to grab Fleem. Is that because Fleem isn't represented in the deck list, but Goben is? How does that work, guys? Yeah, because we definitely have 2 more Fleems that they could have exiled, but maybe in the deck list, Goben is just Goben and not Fleem. Not 100% certain. Magic's very weird sometimes. Wow, Ruzic's a good draw, but I don't think we get to keep it around at all. Virtue's going to start reanimating as well. What do they have? They have our Kiora, Kitsa. Actually just bring back the Demon Wall so they don't end up taking damage from the Unholy Annex, which makes a lot of sense here. I do wonder if Demon Wall's their only demon, since usually when we see this style of deck list, we have the top end 4-drop demon that doubles damage, but that seems super unnecessary for this style of mono black, where they definitely went the control route. So they could totally just rock Demon Wall as a 4 of, Unholy Annex as a 4 of, and just have a whole bunch of other removal packed in. They go 0-point Ballad for X's 6, which gives them some reanimation. They bring back the Demon Wall. Ruzic was a goner there. And we're down to 8 thanks to the Bandit's talent. Right, mana off the top. Virtue gets some more reanimation here. They bring back the Ruzic for sure, as that's the biggest and the chunkiest thing to bring back. Honestly, the Kiora would be pretty good too, right? The opponent has 10 mana on the board, completely controlled by this mono black mid-range deck list. Incredibly brutal stuff. And a 3rd Annex, honestly, that should be lethal damage, right? They got 10 total damage, and they power up the Bandit's talent here too. So we go down to 2, and then they pass it back. Good game, opponent. Rough deck list, man. Holy cow. Scary. They drop us the GGs in return. I don't know if there was much we could have done there, so thank goodness it didn't come down to the Glacial Dragonhunt thing, right? Yeah, keep your eye on cards like that. Like, there's a lot of cards where you're trading out, and it's just, like, fantastic to trade out the extra mana. But in that scenario, when you trade out the extra mana, you won't get the damage, which is pretty essential, too. There were other things in that last game as well where Monument of Endurance, I got a little greedy and I sent the Monument, and once I sent it, it was in the grave ready to be picked up by the Deadly Cover-Up. If I would have kept the Monument, maybe we would have had a chance of setup, and then Monument can keep your hand nice and stocked as well. Guys, I would very much like to squeeze the 4th Monument in here, but I don't really know what to drop either. And remember, we built this together over on the Twitch channel too, so I don't think I changed anything before sitting down to record. I maybe like one card here or there. I don't think so though. I think I kept it pretty much how we built it together. Another thing about the 4th Monument too, it's kind of like I said, you have to take the turn for setup, which is actually pretty hard to do. What's nice about this one is you can take the turn for setup, but still get Monument benefits based on your turn too, like Kitsa, Inti, or Goben. You're still ramping into that Monument very well. Goben has the Connive, of course, once it slips through. Kitsa can tap on the turn 3 as well, and Inti, once it swings through, you're still getting the discard. So you're still getting just these incredible benefits. I think this is where it is, right? Ruzic down to 2, Monument up to 4. That's the change. Actually, it looks pretty clean, too. I do think that this deck list could benefit from Bitter Triumph as well. That is an excellent piece of spot removal, but remember, we're just splashing the black in here. If we go up a couple Bitter Triumphs and drop a couple Glacial Dragonhunts or something, we might need to consider the mana base a little bit more, maybe go up a Swamp or something too, but might not as well because we got treasures from the Ruzic and the Monument, so the mana fixing is pretty good, and the trading out to actually see the mana that we need is pretty good as well, so there's a lot of things to consider here, guys. Yeah, Bitter Triumph could definitely be something. So where's the splash of black? Well, number 1, Knife Trick and Ruzic is all hybrid mana, so we really just worry about red. And then sometimes, like, a Watery Grave can also help cast the Ruzic or something too, right? So, or the Knife Trick. The splash of black for Fleem is more realistic because you actually need the Grixis colors for Fleem. And then Kefka, of course, too. You need the Grixis colors for that. And then the one of Desecrex. But honestly, the one of Desecrex could also be dropped for the Bitter Triumph, right? We're splashing the Desecrex anyways. Might as well splash the Bitter Triumph instead and maybe survive a couple extra turns. Now, the Bitter Triumph isn't always going to have a good target to discard either, especially if you drop the Desecrex. It already has the Mayhem for Rakdos, so I don't know, man. That's tough. I do like the decision, though, to go up the 4th Monument, and we dropped one of the Ruzics as well. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to pause the recording. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so the change. Dropping a Ruzic, 4th Monument. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. I think Monument of Endurance and like this style of discard deck list is kind of underplayed, and it is that reason where you have to establish Monument. But if you build the deck list right and you still get a discard on your turn 3 when you establish Monument, so at the very least you get like card draw or ramp on the first turn that the Monument is down. Like I said, Inti, Kitsa, Goben all helping us do that. Then all of a sudden, dude, I don't know, man. There's just so much power and so much value packed onto this card. I can't believe we don't see it. And that might just be how strong Standard is. Like, people just can't successfully play this, but I feel like there's still something. Oh, guys, it is a rare. That reminds me. Put this one on the do not craft list. As far as cool deck lists go, this is pretty expensive, and it's probably on the janky side too. Let's do some rearranging here. We have of course, rares and uncommons and commons. Let's see here. The Goben, it's actually mythic, unfortunately. Fleem's a really cool card, but it's such a specific build around. I just can't recommend crafting that at all. And as a matter of fact, well, Fleem, when it's out there, should in theory do a lot for this deck list, and it did on Twitch as well when we streamed it. I don't know if it's necessary as a 3 of in here either. Again, I could see dropping this down to 2 and going up that Bitter Triumph that I keep bringing up. Okay, so there's the split, guys. That is a chunk of rares and a chunk of mythics. 7 mythics total here. And how many rares? Like 16 rares, 7 mythics. Don't even get me started on the mana base, guys. Put it on the do not craft list, period. Holy cow. Now, at least the mana base can be played in other deck lists as well, but cards like Exclusive Nightclub might struggle to find a home. And, well, I mean, outside of Grixis, right? I did try a Nightclub in Rakdos Mayhem, which made a little bit of sense, but I don't know, man. Honestly, put everything on the Do Not Craft list for the first couple weeks of any given set anyways. I really like the curve in here. I love what we landed on, and I always have a really fun time building these deck lists together with you guys too. So yeah, it was fun. Just janky, not worth the craft. Yes. Guys, let me know what you thought of the deck list overall down in the comments. And if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.